All right. What is good, everyone? It is your boy Lincoln Clay, the godfather of gaming, the ageless wonder. How y'all doing tonight? Y'all know what to do. Hit the bell icon, hit the like button. The rest will take care of itself. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. So, um, so today I want to talk about a few subjects, uh, VR related, pretty much all of it, damn near all of it. And for those who tuned in yesterday, as some of you know, I was looking for another VR headset as I wanted something with a little more clarity. And so I was going through the list of VR headsets that are out there or that are on the way. Craig Harris, is this Mass Effect talk? Hey, how are you doing, my friend? I'm doing pretty good. So, but unfortunately, no, this isn't Mass Effect. But hey, wouldn't you love to have Mass Effect in VR? Yeah, but that get your juices flowing. So, um, again, I was going through the list of VR headsets, VR PC VR headsets that I consider to be premium headsets um, to see what the pros and cons would be of each headset and whether it would be worth me getting. Um, because I took things into consideration, price, functionality, tracking, scaling, all that kind of stuff. And and what I'm looking for first and foremost is more clarity. Players United, what is up? Now, don't get me wrong. The Oculus Rift, for the most part, does look good. Um, there's minimal blur in the Oculus Rift, but there is slight blur in it. Now it's this there's the blur on the PSVR is worse. We're moving into that age now where I think blur has been eliminated with I'm under that impression with some of the VR headsets that are coming up. And so there's a number of headsets out there that have, I'm guessing, that have little or no blur, that has better clarity than the Oculus Rift. But there's a trade-off for every one of them. So after I got done with my podcast yesterday, I was trying to do some research and take a look at all the headsets that are out there and see if any of these headsets fit what I'm looking for. Because a lot of, again, I'm taking into consideration. I'm taking in consideration of price versus resolution versus performance versus functionality versus tracking. I was trying to take all that stuff into consideration and see if any of these headsets would work for me. And Gamertag VR, how are you doing? Hey, you know what, Gamertag? I'm so glad you popped in here. Man, that Oculus Home, I'm going to get to that. But before I do get to that, Gamertag, I want to say I went into your Oculus Home. Dude, that house is sick. I saw that big statue of Link inside your Oculus Home, looked out and seen that that futuristic Blade Runner type setting. Man, that I didn't know how cool that Oculus Home was, man. That Oculus Home is so cool. And I didn't know, with the Oculus Home that you could go check out a lot of people. I didn't know you could check out a lot of people's homes. And so I went ahead and opened my home up, at least to my friends. So you're welcome to go view my home, but it's still pretty much the standard home. The only thing I added in there, I put a like a coin operated arcade machine in the living room, and I put a big screen TV on the wall. But after I went around and checked out some of these other homes that were open to the public, holy smokes, those was some extremely cool looking homes out there. So some of the homes that I went into, some of the owners were there, but other people, there were other people that was just touring around, looking around the homes and stuff. Just wow, that home is just so cool. And so you'll have to help me with that and show me where to get all these like these settings, like that Blade Runner type setting you got, man. You're gonna have to help me find that stuff because I really want to decorate that home, because that my home is the standard home for Oculus, and it looks so man, it looks so generic. So I definitely want to add some life to it. So I would okay, I'll pop in. Okay, sounds cool. Definitely. Um Man, isn't it sheesh, it's gotta be late where you at. You 5 hours ahead of me. So it's gotta be almost 1 in the morning there in the UK. It's gotta be woo the middle of the night. Um but yeah, my dilemma is I want another headset, and I want something that looks you got to have some Detroit stuff in your home. Hey, Players United, that is a good idea right there, because with the exception of the Lions, I love all my Detroit teams. I love the Red Wings, I love the Pistons, I love the Tigers. Yeah, I was going to say I need to sleep, but you're so upbeat, man. It made me Hey, even if it's for a few minutes, I'm so glad you popped in, Gamer Tag. Speaking of which, another thing, I've been meaning to ask you uh, if you and Joystick Guru would like to get together on Saturday and do another podcast, because now that the Oculus Quest, the Oculus Rift S, and the Valve Index have been revealed, I wanted to get together and talk about specs, talk about price, uh, if the headset is what a particular person may be looking for. And then we can even throw the HP Reverb into the mix, because that was supposed to release at the end of April. So, a lot of headsets coming, and I believe that um, I think that the Vive Cosmos is still supposed to be coming too this year. I'm not sure. I haven't looked that much into that though, especially with the HTC Vive Pro, the complete setup costing $1,400. Oh my God. So yeah, if you're available um, after 2200 BST, which is British summertime, and that would be 10 p.m. your time, which would make it 5 p.m. Eastern time. So actually, that works perfect. And if Joystick Guru could make it, that would make it 4 p.m. his time. So I will reach out to him sometime between this evening and tomorrow, and see if he can make it, or if you happen to be watching this, Joystick Guru, get in touch with me through Twitter. Let me know if you can make it, because that would be so cool, because I think there's going to be a lot to talk about with these new headsets being revealed, along with some of the games that's going to be coming. I think Vader Immortal, it sounds to me like that's going to be a launch game for the Oculus Quest. Rift gamers are going to get it, but it doesn't sound like they're going to get it day one from what I'm gathering. That guy, what's up? Love a podcast. I've got to sleep, dude. Much love, man. Smash the like button on your way in. Hey, I appreciate it, and I will definitely be in touch over the weekend, Gamer Tag, and then I'm going to go back and check out your podcast about the Oculus Quest. I see that was like a 3-hour podcast or something like that. So actually, I'll probably end up listening to it at work tomorrow, because that'll definitely help make the day go faster. So with that being said, man, Thanks for popping in. You have a good night, and I'll be in touch with you this weekend. So, okay. Sorry, folks. I had to check a message. I'm responding to a message, folks. Give me a second. Okay. All right. So going back to what I wanted to talk about first was the VR headset trade-off. And that's where I was having to put my notes together because I wanted to go through the pros and cons of each of the headsets that I've listed. And then at the end of running off all these headsets, it was my first real attempt to do a live chat, so your feedback would be appreciated. Okay, no problem. Yeah, expect a comment from me tomorrow, gamer tag, because like I said, that's quite a long podcast. Once I get done with this podcast, I want to be able to get some gaming time in. I definitely want to jump on Oculus and go check out some more Oculus homes because there is some really sweet homes out there, and get a little bit of gaming in. So I will definitely listen to your podcast tomorrow and leave a comment. So let's go over um these. Let's go over my notes and talk about these other headsets. All right. And today is Thursday, May 2nd. Okay, so let's start with the Oculus Quest. That's supposed to um it's priced at $400. I think, you know, I've listed what I think is the pros and the cons, and then I'll move on to the next one. Um, with the Oculus Quest, I believe, the pros of is resolution. I do believe it is 1440 per eye. I think another pro to the Oculus Quest is that it is VR on the go. It is its portability makes it attractive if you're a person that's on the go. I would like to look at the Oculus Quest as the Nintendo Switch of VR. In terms of being able to have a console-like experience on the go, because that's basically what the Nintendo Switch is. It's supposed to be like a console-like experience on the go that you can take with you anywhere. And in the case of the Oculus Quest, it's giving you a PC like VR experience that you can take with you anywhere. So I don't, as of right now, I don't have any plans to get an Oculus Quest. If it turns out to be a situation where once the weather gets warm and it turns out that I'm leaving and I'm gone all the time and I'm not home that much, then yeah, then I might shoot over to Best Buy and go pick up one. Because I'm also a person that buys shit on impulse too. I'm the type of person that are like, you know what, I've been thinking about getting one of these. You know what, I want one, and then I'll jump in the car and go get it. So um when I bought my gaming PC, it was planned to get a gaming PC, but the manner in which I went and bought it was on impact. I was like, okay, taxes is coming back on this day. Got a overtime check coming. I got this coming. Okay, I'm good. And then I went and jumped up and bought the PC just like that. So that very well could happen with the Oculus Quest. If my conditions should drastically change to where I feel like I want to have one with me, then I'll jump up and go get it. So that is one of the pros to the Oculus Quest. But I think the cons are that it has less power than than a tethered VR headset. So I think that might show with resolution. Well, not resolution, but maybe maybe graphics and maybe performance. But um, if I were to get an Oculus Quest, I definitely would not be getting it in the name of upgrading, because it is not an upgrade to the Oculus Rift. But I still think it is a wonderful device, and I still think it is a device that could take VR gaming to the next level. That if any VR device has a chance to crack into the mainstream, the Oculus Quest would be that device. So, moving on to the next headset, we have the Oculus Rift S, which sells for $400. Um, I think the pros of the Oculus Rift S is the resolution. It is 1440 per eye. Um, I also think that maybe possibly another pro to the Oculus Rift S is the tracking. It has inside out tracking, but it's not so much about the inside out tracking, is that the headset has 4 cameras. So you're gonna, for the most part, you're gonna get pretty good tracking. Um, Now I think the cons to the Oculus Rift S, the ones that glare out at me is the lower refresh rate, which it refreshes at 80 hertz versus 90 for the standard Oculus Rift. The LCD panel that it's made from, this used in the headset, means blacks won't be as deep. And the one another one that concerns me, I guess, like with these new Rift Touch controllers. A couple of things that I heard about was that the battery cover comes off easy. I've also heard, saying that, like, the way the ring is made on top of the controller, if you give a thumbs up or your thumb comes anywhere near that ring, it kind of gets in the way. So it sounds to me like they probably should have kept that ring on the bottom. And then I would probably say the other thing that concerns me is that the inside out tracking, um, it has a blind spot. If your controllers, um, if the cameras lose sight of the controller, you will, the tracking will suffer. And that usually means where you have a situation where, if you're putting your hands behind your head, you could possibly lose tracking. So to me, that is a compromise for games like Space Junkie and Blade and Sorcery, because games like Space Junkie, you can reach behind you and pull out an energy sword, or with the right hand or with the left hand, you can pull out a shield, like an energy shield. And I think with the Oculus Rift, with you having 3 sensors, 2 in the front and 1 in the back, you're going to have superior tracking, 360 degrees of tracking. So when I play Space Junkies, I don't have a problem when I reach behind my head to pull out the energy sword or to pull out the energy shield. So actually, Space Junkies is a pretty fun game. So for those of you who have VR on PSVR or Oculus Vive, whatever the case may be, I would urge you to hurry up and grab Space Junkies while it's still on sale for $15, because I think that sale is going to end like in a matter of days. So definitely check that out if it's not already over. So, H Player, what is up? So yeah, that's the inside out tracking of the Oculus Rift S does have a blind spot. Um, but I'll definitely come back to that, because that's not the only headset that's going to have that issue. Next, we have the HTC Vive. I went to the Best Buy website, and the whole setup seems it still sells for $500. My solution to that was to buy one off of eBay. I've seen them for around, anywhere from 200 to 250 bucks on eBay for the whole setup, the headset, the wands, the lighthouses or bases, or whichever you want to call them. So that was a route that I was thinking about going. I think the pros of the HTC Vive is that with the lighthouses or the bases, you put them in the corner of wherever your play area is. You put them opposite corners of each other, and that's going to give you superior tracking. And I do think the clarity is a little bit better on the HTC Vive if memory serves me right from when I played my friend's HTC Vive. I think the negatives of the HTC Vives is I just don't like the controllers. They don't have a thumbstick. Ergonomically, I just don't care for them. And because of the scaling, you're going to need a good amount of space. You're going to need a good sized play area for the HTC Vive. Not only that, another negative is that you could use the HTC Vive to play Oculus exclusives, I guess, through an app called Revive, but you know, performance is compromised. So there might, be a little bit of there might be a little bit of input lag and what have you. So if I were to go that route to get an HTC Vive, I would basically use it to play Steam games and would stick to my Oculus for the Oculus exclusives. Um, so moving on to the next headset, that would be the Samsung Odyssey. When I played Poker Stars VR last night, some guys that I was sitting at the table with, we started talking about the VR headsets that were coming up, and I explained my dilemma to them that I was looking for a headset with, with more clarity, with better visuals, a clearer picture, and they suggested the Samsung Odyssey as being an option. This affordable, in my opinion. The Samsung Odyssey sells for $500. I think the pros is that it has a resolution of 1600 per eye. It does have inside-out tracking. The controllers look decent. I still think the Oculus Rift touch controllers are still, as of right now, I think until the Valve Knuckles hit the market, I think the Rift touch controllers are the best VR controllers out there at the moment. But I think the Valve Knuckles are going to end up knocking them off the stool. Um, so that, I think that was the pros of the Samsung Odyssey, was the resolution was 1600 per eye, and as of right now, it says if you ever get Dragon Quest VR and stream it, let me know how it is. If it's at the Steam store, I'll go check it out. And if it doesn't cost a lot, if it doesn't, if it's not expensive, if it's a game that costs like 15 or 20 bucks, then I'll look into it. If it's a game that costs 40 bucks, I might have to wait until it goes on sale. Unless I can reach out to the developer and see if they'll send me a key, that might be another option. But when a game costs $40, I definitely have to look into it, because a $40 price tag doesn't necessarily mean the game is going to be quality. Some of these, I will admit, some of these VR games are overpriced. So, but I will definitely look into this into Dragon Quest. So where was I? I was on the Samsung Odyssey. The pros are that it's 1600 by, the resolution. And again, I think it uses inside out tracking. Um, and again, the controllers don't look too bad. I think I could deal with the controllers. Um, Now the cons is that, again, the inside out tracking. It has two cameras in the front. So again, the inside out tracking has blind spots. So again, if you're playing a game that requires you to reach behind your head, you're going to lose tracking. So that was a big concern of mine right there too. And this again, uh, this is another headset where if you were to play Oculus exclusives using the Revive amp, it's not going to perform as well as the Oculus headset. So that's something else to consider right there. And so the next headset is the Valve Index. No, actually, let me back up. The HP Reverb. Now, before I go on to the HP Reverb, I think currently the Samsung Odyssey, as of right now, has the highest resolution of headsets that are currently on the market. As no, scratch that. I totally forgot about the Pimax headsets. I don't, that, and I actually meant to add the Pimax headsets into this list. Off the top of my head, the Pimax, you have the 4, 5, and 8K headsets. They have a wider field of view, which is obvious by how wide that headset is. But recently, I've heard horror stories. I think from some of the bigger YouTubers. I think like maybe Sebastian Ong from Mixed Reality TV. I think he might have mentioned that his Pimax broke a couple of times, and I think I'm not sure if it was Nathy or not. I think he might have said the same thing, that his Pimax headset broke a couple of times. So that's getting to be a horror story about these Pimax headsets, is that they break. And those things are pretty pricey. So that's out. I was actually considering buying the 5K headset next summer, but knowing that these things break, no, I'm not going to buy it. Knowing something like that, the only way I would take a chance on a Pimax headset is if it was on a Best Buy shelf. That way, if it breaks, the Best Buy won't have any issues giving me my money back or replacing it. So the Pimax is scratched off that list. So I won't even consider a headset if it's got a reputation for failing. So now that's going to move us on to the HP Proverb. The pros is the resolution. It's going to be 2160 per eye. I guess it's going to come out with a couple of SKUs. One is for businesses, which I guess it has a Connect that allows for them to wear a backpack to do business type shit, architect scaling, and all kinds of other shit. There is a commercial version of the HP Reverb. And again, it has the same con as the other headsets that use the inside out tracking technology, is that it has its blind spots. So if you're in a situation where the camera loses sight of the controllers, the tracking is going to be compromised. So again, a game like Blade and Sorcery or Space Junkies, where I have to reach behind my shoulder to grab my weapons, that's going to compromise the experience of it. So yeah, again, that's something to consider. And then next up is the Valve Index. That's let me go back to the HP Reverb first. I guess the two SKUs are going to sell for $600 and $650. So that's also something to consider. And now we'll move on to the Valve Index. The pros to me is the resolution. It's 1600 per eye, and I think with the lighthouses along with the cameras that's in the headset is going to give you superior tracking. Maybe even better tracking than the Oculus Rift, with the sensors. That was the headset that I was seriously interested in. That was the headset that I was like hoping for the best and expecting the best, rather than realistically hoping for the best and expecting the worst. That was the route that I should have taken. But I was hoping for the best. I was expecting the best. I was thinking that because the Valve Index was going to get its most competition from the Oculus Rift S. I was figuring that they would price it competitively, but shit, the whole setup is $600 more than the Oculus Rift S, and that's the trade-off to me right there is the price. It's $1,000 for the complete bundle, and in the situation that I'm in right now, I dropped $2,000 on that Alienware computer. I still got to get my car fixed. This is, my brother and I finally conceded that we're just going to go ahead and send it to the shop next week. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to cost anywhere from $500 to $1,000 to get my car fixed. So I don't want to go drop another $1,000 on a headset when I already have one. So I got to get, I got to keep my priorities in order. So I got to get my car fixed first. So at least for right now, I think the Valve Index is off the list, of possible choices. But don't get me wrong, I am highly interested in that headset. It looks to me like I guess the last one is the Vive Cosmos, and I haven't even bothered to do research on that because when I went to the Best Buy website and saw the complete package was $1,400, which is absolutely insane. And but I will go back and do the research. Yeah, there you go, Players United. I got to get my car fixed. I mean, I'm using my mother's car in the meantime, but I want my car fixed ASAP. So we got to get those priorities in order. One thing that I did forget to mention about the HP Proverb is that you are going to need a pretty beefy computer to run it. You're going to need a minimum of 16 gigs per RAM. Of RAM, you're going to need an Intel i7 CPU, and I have a Intel i5. So because of that, the HP Proverb is off the list. So, but again, I'm going to go back and do my homework on the Vive Cosmos because I'm curious to see what the resolution is and all that good stuff. So I'll go back and do my homework on the Vive Cosmos, and then when I get together with Gamertag and hopefully Joystick Guru this Saturday, we'll talk about that a little bit too. So with that being said, based on my situation, in terms of price, space, functionality, all that good stuff, every one of those headsets have a trade-off that makes me want to cross it off my list. There's a price to be paid with every one of these headsets. But out of all the headsets that I've mentioned, it looks to me like if I was going to go ahead and go for a quick fix, it might be the HTC Vive because I'll be able to find one off of eBay for a couple of $100. The lighthouses give it good tracking, so I don't think that'll be an issue. I think the picture will have a little more clarity. The only downside, in my opinion, of the HTC Vive are those garbage ass controllers. So, but I still might just go ahead and deal with it. So, if I decide to go that route and get a standard HTC Vive off of eBay or something, I might get one within a few days. Yeah, I saw that Players United that Peter Mayhew, who played Chewbacca, passed away today at 74 years old. He was an old dude. So now let's so that could end up being my final verdict is getting an HTC Vive. But let's move on to the next subject that I wanted to talk about, and that is the Oculus Quest casting. With the upcoming release of the Oculus Quest, naturally this headset is aimed that they're trying to break into the mainstream with this headset. And fact of the matter is, how much of a chance the Oculus Quest can break into the mainstream depends on us, the gamers, because we know that Oculus are counting on people. If I decide to get one, like me, like Gamertag, or whoever else gets an Oculus Quest, they're going to be counting on people like us to take this device to parties, to gatherings, to get-togethers, and show it to people. And one of the big concerns about showing it to people is casting, being able to cast it on a TV. I think a couple of months ago when people were wondering that, I think it was said that like the Oculus Go, that you could only cast on a smartphone or a tablet. So people were speculating that was going to be the case with the Oculus Quest. But those questions have been answered. Today I saw a video by a young lady who's a VR enthusiast. Her name is Cass and Carrie. I was watching her video. She did an unboxing. Oculus sent her a Quest and a case to carry it in. She did an unboxing. She got it all set up, did the Guardian and everything. And any device with Chromecast built into it, you can cast onto that device. So yes, she was able to cast whatever she was playing onto a TV that had Chromecast built into it. Now there was a drawback. It sounds to me like this is on a game by game basis. Not every single game will project onto a Chromecast device. So I think she was not able to get Creed to project onto a TV, but she was able to get Super Hot to project onto a TV. So that question has been answered. That's going to be huge. And not only that, it plays through the speakers of whatever device you are using as well. So that is going to be huge for the promotion and advertisement of the Oculus Quest. As we, all of us VR gamers, want to see this industry grow. And something like that, something as simple as being able to show whatever you're playing on a TV to a bunch of friends, that's going to go a long way to help promote this product. So I'm very optimistic that the Oculus Quest will do well. I think it's going to get off to somewhat of a slow start, but I think with marketing and and eventual price cuts, I think it will crack into the mainstream. So that's good to know that yes, you can project images onto a Chromecast device. And so the next subject that I wanted to talk about was VR fanboyism. I was surprised to see that a little bit of that is going around, and suffice to say that it seems to be, a lot of it is coming from the Oculus community. Anthony of VR 365, as well as a few of his guests that he's had on his show, has pointed out, the behavior of the Oculus community, that yes, they will take shots at other VR headsets now. So I'm led to believe, like if you take the PSVR out of this equation, I'm led to believe that out of the PC VR headsets, the Oculus Rift has sold the most headsets. So with that being said, if you take the PSVR out of the equation, you can almost look at them as the PlayStation of PC VR headsets with the most sold. But it also sounds like they almost have a borderline toxic attitude like the Xbox too, though. So, Anthony of VR 365 said, yes, they do take shots at other headsets. So I was surprised to learn that VR fanboyism does exist. I don't know if it'll go any further than that. I guess we'll have to see, after a couple of years, once all these Livewire's attacked PSVR and his games on Twitter's. Isn't Livewire the same guy who said something to the effect that people who play God of War or some shit like that, you know, a schizophrenic or some kind of shit like that? I can't, because I was actually in there when he said it, if I'm not mistaken. I think I can't remember whose podcast it was, but I was in there when I believe I was in there when I said it, because I think when he said it, he was going back and forth with a BitCloud, you know, formerly Ryan. I think that's who he was going back and forth with. So it's crazy that he went off and said something like that, because he also went off to mention that his wife likes God of War. So I mean, what is he calling his own wife? Schizophrenic. So it sounds to me like Livewire's got a thing for PlayStation. So him attacking PlayStation VR sounds to me like it doesn't have anything to do with the VR format. It just has something to do with it being a Sony product. So that sounds like that's the situation there. And so the last subject that I want to talk about before I wrap it up and get some VR gaming in is the Oculus Home, which you guys heard me talking to Gamertag about that earlier. So I went into, you know, I'm sitting around in my Oculus Home, and I started looking around because I was trying to move shit around, and I accidentally like dropped my couch on top of the table. So, you know, so the house looked all fucked up, and I put everything back in order. And so I was monkeying around, went on my friends list, saw Sick Humor and went to his profile, and then it was like visit home. And I was like, huh? You can visit his home? So I went inside his home, and I saw that he had a basketball hoop up on the wall, and right above the fireplace, he had a TV mounted on the wall right above the fireplace. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I go back into my own home, and I start looking for items to put in there. So I found a coin operated arcade game that I put inside my home, and I found a large TV that I put on the wall in my home too. So I'm thinking I'll come back and mess around with it later. And then I think I hit the social tab on there, and then it was like, you know, places or something like that, or homes. So these were all homes that were open to the public, and I went and checked out all these homes, and that is so cool. So a lot of these homes like were totally decorated. The walls were different. They had statues, all kinds of stuff in there. And then, you know, in my home, when you walk out on the patio, you know, there's a mountain scenery. There was some of these other homes that I've seen, like Gamertags, for instance. You've seen like a futuristic city, something that looked like something right out of Blade Runner. And he had a statue in there of the character Link from Breath of the Wild. And this looked like it was about like a 9 or 10 foot statue in there. And the thing looked like it was going to come to life. So it was kind of eerie. It was cool, but it was kind of eerie. He had some other things in there. I went out and checked out other homes. Some people had like theater screens in their homes. They had like arcade games in their homes. Some of them had like portals. Some of these homeowners had like 5 homes. So you go into like the main home, Jamal Adams, what's up? And then you see these door portals that would lead to their other homes, and you walk through these portals and go see their other homes. So that was pretty slick too. You know, and as I'm bouncing around all these different homes, there were people inside these homes that I was talking to. And then when I came back to my own home and I went through the settings, I saw that, you know, you could open your home up, and my home is only open to my friends. So my friends can go see my home. So when Gamertag goes in there, he's going to see a very plain home that I still have to work on. But now that he told me we can work on it and come up with some ideas so I can decorate my home, that's going to be pretty slick. With that being said, Sick Humor, if you happen to be watching, man, both you and me, man, our homes is plain as fuck, man. We got to do something to those houses. Jamal King, what is up? So I definitely wanted to do that. Um, there were other homes where they weren't actually homes at all. Like one of them was like on an island. That looked like it had like a refreshment stand, at the top of a hill, like next to a palm tree. So there was a lot of different stuff there. So I want to check that out and go check out some other homes, which I thought, and get some ideas. And then I think last thing that might be on my mind right now is that your boy scored on Poker Stars VR last night. I scored. Matter of fact, let me see. I think one pot I hit for $224,000, and if I think only 4 people watched that stream last night. For those who watched that stream, I thank you. And my apologies again, because when I'm streaming through the GeForce experience, I cannot see any comments. That's something that's still a work in progress. But at the poker table yesterday, one of the pots I hit was for $224,000. So the guys that were sitting at the table with me was like, what's your rank? And I'm like, man, rank? Are you kidding me? I ain't got no damn rank. So they went and checked. I checked my profile, and I was number 4 on the leaderboard, at least for the week, because they have their weekly leaderboards. So I think this week so far, I think I won a total of like $356,000. So last night when I got off of Poker Stars, I was ranked number 4 on the leaderboard. So I guess like if you finish up number 1 at the end of the week on the leaderboard, you get a ring. You get a Poker Stars ring through the game. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I might try to get back in there and try to win some money. But, that leaderboard, my 4th spot isn't going to last, because somebody will probably come along and win more money than me, or my rank will drop if I lose money. So I think those are my plans today. I don't know. So let me see. It's 9:30. I definitely want to get some gaming in, like I said. So that is my plan tonight, is to go check out some more Oculus Homes. I wish I knew how to stream that, because that's something you guys got to see. Those Oculus Homes are so cool. Spartan God, you've come to bad mouth and make fun of Xbox. Okay. So what's happened recently that would prompt today's attack? Let me see what we got for smart news. Xbox Live, new standards try to define acceptable trash talk. Yeah, okay, whatever. All right. So yeah, that would be so cool if you guys could see the Oculus Home. And so that is my plan tonight. I want to go check out some more Oculus Homes, play some more Poker Stars, and I don't know, I'm feeling like Space Junkies. That's it's a fun game. I mean, the first time I saw a trailer for it, I didn't think I would like it as much as I did. It is a fun game. I just do not think it is worth $40. It is well worth the $15 that it's on sale for right now, though. So I'm going to play that. And more than likely, I'm going to play it from the Oculus, because I feel like people who play it on Oculus and Vive, being that their hands are free, definitely have an advantage of over those that's playing it on the PSVR and that are kind of handcuffed to the DualShock 4 controller. Um, but there's no question that once we get Move support for Space Junkies, I will definitely be doing some streams from the PlayStation VR once we get Move support for it. Because I think that once they get Move support for the PlayStation VR, I think the odds will be even. I think as of right now, PC VR, those players have an advantage not because of power or anything like that, just for the simple fact that their hands are free because they have, touch controllers, the HTC Ones, whatever device they might be playing on. He says Microsoft outlines their trash talk guidelines for Xbox Live. Whatever. I mean, I don't play games on the Xbox anymore. Once in a while, I might jump on and play Gears of War 4 with my son. But other than that, I don't play games on the Xbox anymore. It's in my bedroom, and I basically use it when I'm ready to wrap up the night and watch some YouTube videos or something, or go to the MLB app and watch the free game of the day. I might use it for something like that, but no, I don't play games on it anymore. Fuck, I barely play games on my PlayStation anymore because I play so much VR. You take away the third party games and then the Xbox is straight trash. Hey, speaking of which, Players United, May the 4th be with you. My birthday is May 4th. So my birthday, your boy Leaky Clay will be turning the big 52 on Saturday. So another year older, another year wiser. And I'm glad to be alive, and I'm glad to be here enjoying these great games. So I think that's all I got. Lincoln Clay is a VR junkie. Players United, it almost didn't happen. I would probably say that if I would have never got my VR legs under me, it wouldn't have happened. I've told this story again, but fuck it. I've told this story before, but fuck it, I'll tell it again. My son, when they had demonstrations at Best Buy for the PlayStation VR, at the time, my son was 10 years old and the recommended age was 12. And but the same woman was working a demo spot every week. So, I was truthful with her and told her my son was 10 and she was like, he's 12, and let him try it. So every Saturday when I picked my son up, he was like, can we go to Best Buy and try the PlayStation VR? So we would go in there every week. And at the time, I didn't have any interest in it. I had no interest in VR whatsoever. But I was taking my son to VR to Best Buy because he wanted to see it. And so I probably say after about the third or fourth week, he asked me if I would get him a PlayStation VR, and I said, "We'll look into it." I didn't give him a no. I just said, "We'll look into it." And I bought the PlayStation VR day one from Walmart, and for the next 2 months, it was hidden in my closet, and I gave it to him for Christmas, and we played a lot of it. The day that on Christmas, I did experience some motion sickness from from the demo disc that came with it. Drive Club caused me to be sick. Riggs was whole. It was that game made me feel the worst I've ever felt in terms of motion sickness. Resident Evil caused me to be a little bit sick because I wasn't used to teleportation as a form of movement. Hell, even the Batman, even the Batman game, the Batman VR even made me a little bit motion sick. And um, so when my son went home Christmas weekend, he took the VR with him, but his room was too small for him to be able to use the VR. So he brought it back and left it over here. And originally he started out playing it when he would come back over here on the weekends. He would play it, and then after a while, he just stopped playing it. He went right back to playing Gears of War and went right back to playing Roblox. And so the VR was sitting there collecting dust, and I felt like, this was a waste of money, so I didn't want it to go to waste. So I started trying to play it again, and again I was getting motion sick. So at that point, I had my mind made up that I was going to sell it. And then that's when I discovered, PSVR Frank. He's he said, the media doesn't want this to succeed. I'm just telling you guys to stay with it. Games are coming. This is something special. And he was right. The games did come, and I stuck it out, and I kept grinding, and I eventually got past it, and I eventually got my VR legs under me. And then as more and more games started to come out, I started to like it more and more. I mean, Drive Club, I like that right from the start. Is just the blurriness and the motion sickness made me pick and choose when I played it. But once I got my VR legs under me, then I was playing it quite a bit. So as time went on and we started getting better experiences, and I started building up more and more of a tolerance for it, um, it was cool to just be inside the game, to be immersed in the game. So, and the rest is history. And over time, as my love for VR started to grow, um, time spent playing flat screen games started to diminish. The only thing I was playing was the Sony exclusives. I really didn't have any interest in really playing third party games that much anymore. Um, Also, when you factor in the atmosphere of third party games today, where we're getting these incomplete games, it seems like it seemed like with these third party games today, it seems like everything's broken except the microtransactions. So I have no desire to play any third party games unless they jump into the VR landscape. I really don't have any interest in playing any third party games anymore. Um, and I've said that on numerous occasions. Take a game like Call of Duty, which I do not like. I have not liked it for years, and I would, and until they put foot on the VR landscape, I'll probably never play a Call of Duty game ever again. So, I mean, hell, the World at War, that ended up being a waste of money that my son wanted. That ended up being a waste of money. He plays it once in a while. Black Ops ended up being a waste of money. Same thing. My son wanted that game. He plays it every now and then. But for me, myself, the only reason why I even took a look at those games is because of the game share. But I can pretty much tell you, again, that a game like Call of Duty, nah, I'm not. I'm not interested in playing it unless they bring it to VR. Hell, as far as flat screen first person shooter goes, even Battlefield, I probably won't be interested in playing that anymore unless they bring it to VR. I think the only first person shooter that I'm still somewhat interested in playing is Rainbow Six, and that's because it is a slow paced tactical shooter that requires teamwork, a careful strategy, and not no run and gun bullshit. So. But anyway, that's where I'm sitting. I think a couple of years from now, I think what we get out of VR is going to be mind blowing, because I think we're on the verge of moving into the next generation. You know, and I think games like Boneworks is going to take us into the next generation. PlayStation Plus podcast, PlayStation Plus podcast. Y'all know the game. What's up, Sick? I don't know how long you. I don't know if you just now coming in, but I wanted to let you know that I went into your Oculus Home. I visited your Oculus Home. I saw the hoop, the basketball hoop on the wall. I saw the TV above the fireplace. I do want to point out that you put a TV above your fireplace that has a stand. There is a TV that you could put that doesn't have a stand on there, an even bigger TV on that. But I'm telling you, Sick, man, that Oculus Home, you got to go check out some of these other people's homes. They're open to the public. They let you come in and see their homes. Some of these people's homes, man, it looked like a museum. Some of these people's homes look like an arcade. Some of these people's homes look like a real small in-home theater. The way they got this stuff laid out. I mentioned people like Gamertag, his home. He got a giant statue of Link from Breath of the Wild, like a 10-foot statue inside of his home. And I looked at it, and the thing just looked like it was gonna come to life. So it was kind of eerie. I think he had like a treasure chest up against the wall. And then when you go to walk out to the patio, the scenery is basically look like Blade Runner, that futuristic city at night that's all lit up, and you see all these cars on the, you see all these lights, this cars going on the highway, and that kind of stuff. So you definitely, man, you got to definitely go check out some of these homes. So I think you hit the button on your left controller, opposite of the Oculus button. You hit that button on your left move controller, and I think you go to social, and then I think from there it gives you another list of categories, and then I think if you hit, it's either places or homes, you hit one of those, and then it'll say recommended, and it'll give you a list of different people's homes that's been customized, and you go in there and just check out some of them homes. It's crazy. And then another thing that's absolutely sick is that some of these people have more than one homes, and they got portals to take you into their different homes. So you might go into a hallway and you see 5 different doors, and then you look at the door and you can already see what the environment is. So you got an idea of what that home's going to look like. And then you walk through that portal and go into their one of their other homes. It's slick, man. I promise you, when you go check out some of these other people's homes, you're going to come back and work on your own home. Both you and me got some plain fucking homes. Man, our cribs is plain as fuck. I got a TV on the wall, and I got a coin operated arcade game up against the wall, but that's it. The shit is plain as fuck. Gamertag VR is going to join me this Saturday, and we're going to talk about, the Oculus Quest, the Oculus Rift, the Valve Index, and all the other upcoming VR headsets. And I'm also planning on Joystick Guru joining us in that podcast. So I'm planning on the 3 of us doing a podcast. But Gamertag said, he'll help me out with my home. So we're gonna go back, and he gonna help me get the stuff I need to set the crib out. So you definitely need to check that out. Also, if you can, Sick, I would say send Gamertag VR a friend request, and then go check out his crib. So also, I did open my home up to my friends, so you can go inside my home and check it out. And if I happen to be there, whenever you come there and check it out, then I guess we'll just be there kicking it, because I also need to work on my avatar as well. Hey, Players United, thank you. Big 52, the big 52. I'm no longer Area 51. So, yeah, I think that's all I got. I'm ready to jump off and get some gaming in. I want to go, like I said, I want to go check out some more Oculus homes. I want to play some Space Junkies. And I want to play some more Poker Stars. So, I don't know. The way I'm feeling right now, I might start off with a little bit of Blade and Sorcery. So I usually try to get in bed by 12:30 Eastern. If it comes down to it, if I'm having enough fun, then I'll stay up another hour. Um, Hell, now that I stop and think about it, shit, I might actually leave work early tomorrow. Um, we're a little bit. I ain't gonna say we're slow. The schedule's a little bit slow right now. I have to play it by ear. If it's a situation where I don't have any work to do, then I very well could go ahead and take off early, come home and get some shit done and get some gaming in and get this weekend off to a great start. With that being said, I want to thank everybody for popping in. You know, Players United, Spartan God, Sick, Jamal, both Jamals, King and Adams, um, H Player, Gamer Tag, everybody. I appreciate everybody popping in, and Craig Harris with Mass Effect. So that's gonna do it for me. I appreciate you guys tuning in. You know the drill. You know, give it a like, comment, share, all that good stuff, and oh, you know what? Hey, what's up? What's up, J Dog? You know what, Sick? If you still happen to be listening, I need your help. Yesterday I tried to stream Project Cars 2 on my PC and it just couldn't do it. It looks to me like the load is just too much for that PC to try to play this game in VR and stream it. So these racing games look like it taxes the PC too much. So what I want to do is do what you're doing. I want to be able to play the game on my Alienware computer, but I want to know if I can use my other PC, the PC that I'm sitting at right now. This is a Lenovo. It's just a standard home computer, but I want to know if I can use this computer to stream what I'm doing on the Alienware computer. You know, and I'm wondering if I can connect these two PCs. I know I can connect them through the modem, you know, with that being the hub, but I'm wondering if I want to use this PC to stream what I'm doing from the Alienware computer, is there any extra steps that I have to take? Is there any extra software that I need to get? Any extra hardware that I need to get? Because I do think I'm going to go ahead and get an Elgato in a week or so, because you know, I want to do more than just play Beat Saber. I want you guys to see what I'm doing while I'm playing it. So that is on the list of things to get. Depends on if you have good specs on that other PC. It's just a standard home PC. This Lenovo, I bought this PC about 2-3 years ago, and is not a gaming PC at all. Shit, I don't even know if they even make this damn PC anymore. Oh hell no. I mean, this Lenovo, it's welcome to your Lenovo H5055. This PC is not a gaming PC at all. It is a home PC. I think it's just an everyday PC to just get everyday tasks done. It's not a gaming PC whatsoever. I don't think it doesn't have a graphics card in it, like not that kind of shit. So system update. So yeah, I don't know. But as of right now, it looks like, you know, again, trying to stream race and VR games, having it's just is the load is just too heavy. You specifically built that PC for streaming? Okay, well, you got a 1060. Well, that's another. I guess that's another direction you could probably point me in. You know, maybe you could send me a parts picker list for your streaming PC. You know, because I would like to think like a 1060 graphics cards don't cost that much these days. All right, I would appreciate it. If you can send me a parts picker list, I'll take a chance and build it myself, or I'll send it over to my friend and let him put it together. So with that being said, today at work, I was a I was a VR crackhead at work today. My head was all nappy. My skin was all ashy. My lips was all purple and shit. My knuckles was all ashy. All I could think about was getting some of that VR crack. I had my VR crack pipe in my mouth and didn't have any VR crack to put in there. So I was losing it, started shaking and shit, and going in and started shaking and started fiending and shit. So I gotta hurry up and get this VR hit before the night is over. Okay, you said you could do it. It's a piece of cake. All right, cool. Well, all right, definitely put it, if you would, please go ahead and put it together for me. And then depending on how much the parts cost, that'll depend on how long it'll take me to put it together. If it's something that I can build for like, $200-300 or something like that, you're gonna stream PC2 early tomorrow. Okay. If it's something where see if it's taxing. Okay. I think one of the things, like some of these bigger YouTubers, like Jimmy Broadbent, he streams. Sometimes he streams games in VR. But one thing I notice is that I don't think he streams them live, because that is one thing that I can do. I did try that. I did play Project Cars 2, and I did record it. I can record it and then just upload it as a video, but live stream, no, it can't do it. It's just too much. So I think that's what he does. I think he records them and then uploads them as full-blown videos. Coon, what is up? And then another issue that I'm dealing with is my Thrustmaster T150. My PC recognizes 9 a.m. sharp. Okay, that's something that I'm probably going to have to catch on the replay, because I'll be able to listen to it, but I won't be able to watch it. And then as far as content for me to listen to tomorrow, I see you went live today and I was asleep when you were live. So I'm going to watch your podcast tomorrow. And I see that it's over 3 hours long. And Gamertag has a podcast that he did today that I think is about 3 hours long. So between watching your podcast and watching his, along with trying to catch whatever parts of just live stream you do tomorrow, that's going to eat up my whole day. So that's cool. So I'll have content to watch, or listen to tomorrow at work. So that'll be cool. Cool. You say, what are the topics? So I already went through all the topics. I mean, because I've been on for almost an hour and a half now. The situation that I'm dealing with is that I wanted to add another headset. I wanted to buy another VR headset. And I was going down a list of headsets that are either available or are coming up. And I was weighing in several factors like price, functionality, tracking, that kind of stuff. And I think right now that if the way things are sitting right now, if I decide to add another headset, it's probably going to be the HTC Vive, which I would buy a used one off of eBay, because I don't want to drop $500 for a new one. And then as of right now, as far as PC VR goes, Oculus has the best exclusives. They're high quality exclusives, and performance is compromised with these other headsets. If you try to use those other headsets to play Oculus exclusives, I understand you have to use some software called Revive. But I guess there's still a little bit of input lag, and then there's issues with depending on what headset you might be using. There might be issues with button mapping, with the controls and stuff. So I had to take a lot of that stuff into consideration. So the way things are looking, I could go ahead and buy an HTC Vive off of eBay, buy it used, because I've seen them cost anywhere from, I've seen people ask anywhere from $200 to $250 for them. And so but I do not like those HTC Vive controllers, but I guess it's something that I'm willing to deal with to be able to get an HTC Vive for that cheap. So I think depending on, which headset I use, if I get this HTC Vive, which headset I use depends on what game I'm playing. Ooh. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. It's already 10 o'clock. So I only got a couple hours to get some gaming in. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I appreciate everybody watching again. I blabbed a little bit longer. I said I was going to shut this shit down about 20 minutes ago and blab for a little bit. Give it a like. I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And I'm going to grab a quick bite to eat. And it might be about a half an hour before I jump back on to stream something. But I'll definitely stream something. It's probably going to end up being Poker Stars, maybe Bladed Sorcery. Unfortunately, with the Oculus Home, you guys can't see. When I'm in my Oculus Home, you guys don't see what I see. Unfortunately, I don't know how to do that yet. That's definitely something that I need to learn how to do, because I do want you guys to see the inside of my Oculus Home, and I want you guys to see what some of these other Oculus Homes look like, because they are absolutely sick. No pun intended. All right, so that's it, y'all. Again, thanks for watching. Give it a like, and I'll see y'all in a little while.